5.5k weapon damage and 40k armour on a medium armour build? Yeah, that's now a thing. Stay tuned to find out what we're doing. Hey, it's Dan, and welcome back to Unified Gaming. In today's video, I'm going to break down Corruption Mark II. This is a stamina necromancer PvP build designed for the current patch, and it is absolutely crazy. It hits really hard and it's really difficult to kill because of the high resistances. And for me, that's exactly what I want. It works in Battlegrounds by changing a Mundus stone, it works in Cyrodiil and an Imperial City without any issues, and you can even 1vx with it if you wish. I have a Mythic version, a non-Mythic version, and just another option for you, so there's kind of 3 setups in today's video, so do stick around for all of that good stuff. And if you want to see me live, then obviously jump into our Twitch. We stream on Saturdays, there's a link in the description. But before we kind of get in with the video and stuff, if you haven't guessed it, this channel is all about helping you get better with builds, guides and gameplay. So why not start improving today by subscribing and clicking on the bell so you don't miss anything. Now let's jump straight in. So for the race, I'm actually a Nord. I find the Nord is kind of the best race of this patch. The damage is really high, healing's a bit questionable at best, and just having extra resistance really help. You either go with high armour or you go with high health regen, and we went with armour in this case. You get obviously health, cold resistance always nice, immune to shield, stamina, ult gem which is perfect for this kind of playstyle, and loads and loads and loads of armour. So yeah, it's just really good. And Orc is a really good option as well, so that's just for a bit more damage. I personally prefer a Nord in medium armour, it's just a bit more bulky. As for kind of the Mundus stone, in CP, Imperial City and that kind of stuff, I use the Warrior. I also use the Warrior in Battlegrounds, but I also sometimes switch it to the Serpent, as you'll see in a sec. Now, if you do play no CP like Battlegrounds and you find sustain a bit tricky, then the Serpent will be your best friend. It gives you obviously stamina recovery, which is amazing. So you get to like 1500, 1600 in no CP, which is amazing. Like, it really helps. So, as I said, if you have issues with sustain, run the Serpent, but in all honesty, just chuck in a few heavy attacks, you will be fine. For the food and the potions and stuff, I would recommend using tri-stat potions. There's health, magic and stamina. Alternatively, you can use Essence of Immovability. I don't have any on me just yet, but you get the idea. Or Italian Topo Broth for the food. It's really good. It's health, stamina and stamina recovery, so that's really useful. So I'd recommend running this if you can get it. It's somewhat expensive, and Dubious is kind of the poor man's version, but this is just way better, so get it if you can. I'm going to go through the skills now. It's pretty straightforward, but do pay attention. On the front bar, we are using a 2H, so it's Dizzying Swing, Blighted Blast Bones, Executioner, Camouflage Hunter, Rally and Onslaught. You can change Onslaught for Dawnbreaker, that's in the Fighter's Guild. This is really good if you use Dawnbreaker or Smiting, they will actually stun people, and it's really nice because you can actually use it in like small scale groups, so you can just kind of cast Blast Bones, run in, Dawnbreaker and just execute people. You can even change it to Reverse Slice for more AoE damage, so it's just a nice option for small scale. On the battle bar we use Bone Armour, and you can morph this how you see fit. So personally, I really like using Summoner's Armour. This makes your kind of blast bones dirt cheap, so it's really good. But a lot of people also like this because it does pull like snipers and stuff to you, so it kind of makes being sniped a little bit harder because you're bulky as it is, and you got a chance to put them onto you if they're too close. So it's personal choice. If you get sniped a lot, run this. If you kind of get, sustain issues, run this. If you get hit with mag assaults, run this. So you're going to play around with it, see what works for you. We then run Mortal Coil, which is a really good heal over time, and this procs some of the sets for one of the builds, so it's a really good skill to have. It's free, and it also gives us stamina, which is really nice. It's like free stam sustain and free healing, kind of passive healing, it's just good. We then have Shuffle, and we use this for the major evasion, making us more bulky. We also get snare immunity, which is nice, so this is a really good skill to get. We use Spirit Guardian, which basically is a heal over time, and it also absorbs 10% damage, so it's like having buffer of the Swift on at all times, so we're bulky with that. We then have Vigor, which obviously is a heal over time, really good. Roll Dodge Vigor will get you out of loads of trouble, so yeah. And then Temporal Guard, which is minor protection. So with the 40k armour, we have obviously damage reduction from this, damage reduction from this, and lots of heals, so we're really hard to kill, so it's definitely worth like this skill setup. I do get asked often, can you use a bow? And actually you can. You could change Dizzying Swing to Snipe, You can then obviously change execution to bombard and it works fine. But you know, it's more of a battlegrounds build, but that is an option. And can you go with dual wield? You can, but it's not that great. So it's either 2H and bow would work in battlegrounds only, so those are your options. I get asked this an awful lot as well. What's about being a werewolf? Like, you get some really cool passives, and no, like, look at my world skills, it's not worth it. The werewolf, although it's cool, you've got so many cool buffs and skills in your class kit, just use them, they're way better. And vampire is not worth it in all honesty, so avoid that like the plague. Now, if you are liking this video, then obviously do like, comment, subscribe, share, it really, really helps. And I'm going to go for the gear now, and if you have skipped, go back and check the skills, it will really help you out. For the gear, we use a new moon, and I use a shock glyph on this because I like to get minor vulnerabilities, just a bit more damage, so it's really nice. You can put on a berserk glyph if you wish, so that's really nice, or even a disease glyph, those are your options for that. We then pair this with the tenties on the back bar. I really like a bow, and I know some people will swear by sword and shield, so you can go sword and shield instead for even more armour. You get to like 42k armour, it's nuts. But I think we have enough as it is, and this gives us movement speed when we roll dodge, so it's like, you know, major expedition if we roll dodge because of the passive, so I prefer the bow. We can also proc the glyph at range, which means we can put a damage glyph on here. So, you know, play around with it, find what works for you, plus it's cheaper as well, so yeah. For the monster set, I would recommend Balorg. Balorg is kind of like the most general rounded one. You can use it in Battlegrounds, Imperial City, Cyrodiil, in groups, and I'll go with medium on the monster set, so you need to have medium monster set. Impenetrable for all the sort of traits, generally for small scale, because you're going to take a lot of damage. You can add in well fitted as you get more experience, more practice. I'll go with Tri-Stat on here, and I'll pair this with Pariah for just loads of resistance. Tri-Stat, Impenetrable, Stamina, 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 Tri-Stat, Stamina. And you see it's the legs and the chest are marked on the Pariah, and everything else is New Moon, so it's waist, hands and feet. And we've got New Moon 2H. So it means on the front bar, we have New Moon 5-piece active. As soon as we switch to the back bar, we're now on the back bar, and now it's only 3 pieces. So we don't get the cost increase on the back bar, which is really nice, and we get the damage when we need it. For the jewellery, I've gone with Pariah as well, with infused weapon damage, and that is really good. It gives you much more damage overall, but you can buy Pariah in Robust, and actually you get slightly more max stamina, which is really good for no CP. So if you find you just don't have enough stamina in the first place, just run it as Robust and it works absolutely fine. I've got weapon damage, and weapon damage. I get just under 1500 regen before Mortal Coil, so it's plenty without a potion. If you find sustain too difficult, change one to stam recovery, and then you're now on, you know, like 1800 stam regen, which is plenty. You do lose obviously 270 weapon damage, so you go to about 5k weapon damage, maybe 5100. But it's not a massive loss in damage in all honesty, so you know, chuck this on if you have issues with sustain, or just change your Mundus, which is what I said earlier. So that's kind of just the general build that I like. That's my favourite build overall, but I do have a Mythic version, and I also have kind of a group version. The group version, like, it's amazing. For the group version, I use Troll King. And you're probably going, why Troll King? Troll King is really nice because when you heal anyone, you get obviously the health recovery applied to them. And we obviously pair that with Eternal Vigour. So we swap Pariah for Eternal Vigour, and obviously you'll change these to be obviously weapon damage, and then you'll change these to be Tri-Stat. But what happens now is when we get low health, we get 1000 health recovery there, we get obviously 900 there, so we get like 2k health recovery. And because we use Mortal Coil, which obviously is a skill that we have access to, that skill there will give us a heal over time, and it will heal anybody near us, which means we can give our allies Troll King, which is really, really good. So like in a small group, this is actually really beneficial, this setup. Like being able to give everybody around you Troll King for, you know, 5-10 seconds is amazing. So yeah, I'd recommend, you know, using this in group play. It, you know, ticks every single second like crazy. So for group play, that's what I use. And again, I keep this exactly the same. I would go sword and shield, though, if I'm going for small scale. If I want to use the mythic item, I'll go with Krog. I'll then change my shoulder piece and go with a New Moon. And as I said earlier, you can put well fitted in if you like. And then I'll go and swap this back to Pariah. We go all with our Pariah jewellery. And then what I'll then do is go to my feet and put on snow boots. So Snow Treader boots are really nice because you get immunity to snares and immobilizers, which means you can get around quickly. We still have the Prior active, we still have our New Moon active, and actually Krag is the highest damage monster set single piece, so this is why we use this. You could swap this for one Balrog if you want there for more damage, which gives you more healing. So you've got a few choices there, but for the mythic items, I found the snow boots were the most versatile, and you can 1vx them really easily. Like, you can't sprint, but you've got the roll dodge on the bow, which gives you the movement speed buff, which really kind of sort of overcomes that issue. So that's what I'd use with a mythic item. So there's kind of 3 setups there. They're really kind of good, really generic, but from what I've found from testing, they're like just the most versatile and they work in all content really, really well. So, give them a go, try out, let me know what you think. As with kind of the CP, it's been min-maxed to my playstyle, like always. This is what I run currently, so I'd recommend using the same kind of CP. Get wind running if you can, it is really, really helpful. I've got a little bit extra in tumbling. CP is kind of, optimized here. Feel free to pause it where you see fit, but this is what I run, okay? You can move these points if you really, really want to. And then as I was saying, and then like I do in all of my videos, I go through kind of tips, tricks, and kind of how to stay alive, do damage and all that good stuff. So if you like that stuff, then obviously do stick around and do consider subscribing because we post regularly. As for kind of doing damage, it's pretty simple. You want to buff up, so you do your Summon's Armour, Spirit Ghost, which is awesome. You may even cast a Shuffle. You don't need to, but you can at that point just for the major evasion should things go south. And you do Light Attack, Swap Bar, Blast Bones, Rally. We do it in that order because the Blast Bones takes a while to get there. So we get a kind of, we don't want to just waste our rally duration. As we kind of do that, we move closer to the target. Dizzying Swing. As you pull back Dizzying Swing, hold in the Light Attack button, it will turn into a medium attack. When the Dizzying Swing lands, let go, and it will then do like a medium weave, which will stun the person as well because they're off balance. You then do Execute or Dizzying Swing, Execute Block, and they die. It's like literally that easy. If you have an ultimate, you do exactly the same combo, but you just chuck in an ultimate after the Dizzying Swing, and you execute and they're dead. It's really, really easy. And to stay alive, it's hard to die on this. You have so much armor, so many healing skills that it's really difficult to die. Keep your ghost up, vigor when you need to, summon the armor. The big thing I will say is do a roll dodge and cast vigor. So if you cast vigor, then roll dodge in that order, it will animation cancel the vigor and you get the heal as you're rolling, which is just really, really nice. So you've got the Spirit Ghost on and that, and then the little tether as well. You're going to be getting 2,000 to 3,000 health a second, which is really, really high. You can then cast Rally, pop a potion, you're about to fill off within 4 or 5 seconds. It's really nuts. So that's how I stay alive. But those are kind of the things that I do really. Obviously try it yourself, give it a go. Let me know what you think in the comments. But before we kind of continue with the video, I want to say massive thank you to all of our Patreons. Like, they're literally helping fund YouTube. They have helped pay for the microphone that you can hear right now. They pay for the controller. They're helping me obviously with making videos because obviously the donation stuff just allows me to get more time to do it. So it's really, really beneficial. And maybe one day I could do this as a full-time job. That would be awesome. But if you want to help, you can. There's a link in the description, but you don't have to. Just like and comment and sharing is more than enough. But I'm actually going to wrap this video up here because it's long enough as it is. We've gone through everything we need to know. So if you do like these videos, as I've said, do like, comment, share. But with that said, guys, I'm going to catch you in the next one. So thanks for watching, take care, and bye.